down to earth, we would talk about some of the very important aspects. One is a simple example where a law graduate from Bihar started advocating the ideas of agroforestry in the region. So bringing in forestry along with agriculture, with extensive paddy fields which were cultivated. Along with that, there were pulses, vegetables which were grown in the farm, and this was one of the efforts that had been seen to bring in good income to the farmer in the region. And thereafter, this idea was to preserve the traditional crops and varieties. So seed banks were created, and these seed banks were managed by the farmers themselves with a barter system at an exchange rate of 10:20. That means you borrow 10 seeds and you return 20 seeds. So that was the idea for the seed bank which was established. Also in the union budget, there is little for agriculture biodiversity. Last year there was a budget allocation of 9%, and this year it was just 0.6% on top of it. So this is a very meager increase when we talk about development, and this has been criticized on numerous aspects. Coming on next is the worldwide displaced population, navigating the new horizons. A global foresight report on planetary health and well-being talks about the report that 1 in 69 people, that is nearly 1.5% of the population, would be forcibly displaced due to climate change phenomena and related aspects. Now this could include rising temperatures, rising sea level, extreme weather conditions and unlivable conditions. So that would lead to various forms of zoonotic diseases. There could be new pandemics that could be seen. Also deforestation, wildlife trafficking and risk of zoonosis have been accentuated to it. The next is the temperatures across the northern hemisphere has been rising continuously, and the global trend for extreme temperatures have brought in new heat records which have been witnessed in West Asia, in Europe as well as in United States. The temperatures are forced to exceed with nearly 32 degrees Celsius, and nearly 200 million people are affected in the regions of United States alone. In Saudi Arabia, temperatures going beyond 50 degrees Celsius. Intense heat waves have caused for power failures in Iran. Ukraine is facing power outage because of record high temperatures of 40 degree and more. Similarly, there has been another new aspect, the genetic screening. Now this genetic screening has been brought to optimize the diet, bring in good training regimes for Olympic players, and this was first laid down by Friedrich Mischer in 1869, and he was a Swiss physician and biologist who isolated the first DNA. Later on in 1909, Johannesson talked about the term gene, which comes from the Greek word genos, meaning birth, and Veron Ingram talked about a particular chemical which leads to or brings in change in the hemoglobin protein, causing sickle cell anemia. Similarly, there was the first gene associated to Huntington disease, which is a brain nerve cell affecting disease, which was identified. Human Genome Project was launched with international collaboration, and that was aimed to map and sequence the human genome. There were gene variants being studied with sports performance, and genetic lottery was one of the concepts that was brought in. So under this genetic lottery, we had seen a Finnish skier who competed in 4 Olympic Games during 1960s and won 7 medals. It was believed that his RBC count is 20% higher than other athletes, and similarly that is because of a rare gene mutation which enhances the oxygen carrying capacity of the RBC by 20 to 50%, and that gives them a performance edge. Similarly, there have been drug resistant tuberculosis which have been identified, and a drug to treat that drug resistant tuberculosis has been brought, and the patents for that have been extended. Bedaquiline is the name for the drug, and the patent claims for pediatric formulation for these drugs are again important. There is another term which is known as evergreening. Evergreening is a strategy where pharmaceutical companies extend the patent monopoly through minor changes, and that is not a correct form of bringing in innovation, but yes, this is a concept which is called as evergreening. So evergreening, greenwashing are some of the terms you must be familiar with. With UPSC, you have these kind of terms being asked often, right? The next is South Africa and the priority. Now, highest TB burden is seen in South Africa, and there have been high number of deaths, but these deaths are still lower than the deaths which are seen in India because of tuberculosis. There has been a huge way forward to bring in the idea for a mass movement, and the lawsuits against major pharmaceutical companies have been brought to understand the same pattern. The next is the marriages in India. Now, hundreds of farmers, the young farmers, are getting it difficult to find a marriage partner. That is because they are enrolled in a rural lifestyle and have an occupation which relates to farming. The girls are getting educated and they are looking for a groom who can be well educated as well and with a wish to migrate to urban areas. And that is one of the reasons that in Karnataka, Mysore district, there have been rejections of marriage prospects for nearly 100 families whose youngsters are being involved with agriculture and allied activities. The same has been true for Mandya district and other nearby districts as well. Also, we have seen a skewed sex ratio, and this is mainly in the Vakalinga community because of the female feticide, which is affecting the marriage aspects in the region. So again, in the Mandya, Mysore areas, they are talking about a balanced sex ratio at the community level, but there has been imbalance in certain communities which have been identified. So that is again another aspect. Now, social isolation has been seen as a result of repeated rejections, and the youngsters are now not willing to go to social gatherings, escape social functions, and this has made it a kind of mental burden for the youngsters. The next is wildlife management. There have been acknowledgement where disagreement among the 19 African range states have been seen because of the uneven distribution over the continent. So Botswana president talked about to bring in elephants to Germany, and this he has threatened that he would send nearly 20,000 elephants to Germany. So that's a kind of statement which has been brought, but the idea is the elephant actually has been affecting the region in those areas, destroying crops, stores, damaging the local developments in the region. Now, the IUCN 2021 report assessment is important. It indicates that the savanna elephant is endangered and has a high risk of extinction in wild. So there are various 334 locations which have 50% decline in the population in last 75 years, and they are not finding ways to actually mitigate this. There have been refused permissions under the SITS agreement, and that's again a issue of concern. It's not just Botswana, but Tanzania again has been affected by it. Now there have been tuskers known for tusking, and there have been examples which are given here. So the list is given here. So this is again something which would be available in the handouts. You can just refer that. So this whole story about elephants, how they are being targeted, and the killing has been condemned because they are the tusk is being precious, right? The next is the Himachal area. The Himachal Pradesh has been experiencing heat waves. Now, heat waves is a very, very important topic. We have covered that topic separately in one of the lectures as well. So again, a very, very important aspect. So if you can go on to the picture, you can see the month-wise number of heat waves have been extremely high and have increased with severe heat wave numbers growing significantly in the past years. Now, there have been fluctuation in the temperature data, but highest heat waves have occurred in the month of April, followed by March in 2021. So after a period of nearly 15 years, we can see another set of heat waves being affecting the region, and these could be serious ones as well. The next is the climate change has brought more uncertainties and risks to agriculture. Now this has been in various terms. The comprehensive approach to make the crops more resilient has been another big question. So those aspects need to be taken into account. Then 90% of the districts are at the risk of climate change. of the nearly 573 rural districts which have been studied by ICAR, and they have been assessed under the category of high or very high risk, and the measures have been taken accordingly. There have been various MOUs which have been signed with Syngenta Foundation and subsidiaries of Swiss Agricultural Technology to build in capacity building programs, bring in technological fix with the Central Research Institute for Dryland Agriculture, what productive ways and management technologies can be brought in. The next is organic and natural farming. Now this improves the porosity of the soil, the water holding capacity, the roots can go deeper, microbial growth can be enhanced in the region, and the plants can bring in better sustainable results as a result of it. So farmers account for 70% of the vegetable and 50% of fruit and cereal production, but the major problem that they face is FPOs and the promotion of the market for the produce. So the supply chain is not very well connected. Also, if there is a crop loss, what about the insurance and insurance cover? That has not been very clear and has been affecting the farmers for a long time. Now there are certain districts which have been at a risk of climate change higher as compared to others, and 50% of these are at a risk which is high or very high. Now the impacts could be in the form of precipitation, flooding, higher temperatures or drought, and this is the risk index which we can see based on the higher level of risk which we can see in the northern parts of India, in the western parts of India, and then certain areas where the risk index is very low in the parts of Saurashtra and Kutch area, in the parts of Tamil Nadu. But overall we can say that we require a good amount of rain-fed areas for determining better agriculture. 44% of the rain-fed areas support food and 60% supports the livestock needs. Also, there is inadequate assurance. Only 30% of the gross cropped area is covered under the Fasal Bima Yojana, which is the crop insurance scheme, and the statistics for the same has been given. The same is with the food diversity. We have seen decreasing diversity, specifically the rabi crop, because of the erratic monsoon and the erratic conditions. The next is coastal cuisines. Now these cuisines have been numerous, specifically in Sri Lanka. We have seen a numerous amalgamation of seafood, fish and chicken recipes which have been seen, and there have been introduction of various examples. For example, ubiquitous coconut, which is a staple form in Bengali cooking, is also noted in Sri Lanka. Poli roti is another important aspect which has been built. The fragrant yellow rice dish kaha bhat is another important development, or we could say recipes or cuisines in the regions of Sri Lanka. Similarly, in Bengal we have Basanti Pulao. So those are some of the important recipes which we can see. And then hoppers and string hoppers. Hoppers is a pancake made of rice batter and coconut milk. And similarly, string hoppers are steamed rice noodles which can be seen in Sri Lankan cuisine. So those are again important. And then coming on to 2035, global warming has been affecting the region surmountably. The human civilizations have been trying to maintain a stable temperature range over the last 6,000 years, but in the recent past we have seen increasing temperature in numerous parts, and this has led to disruptions in the normal lifestyle, bringing in more of forest fires, wildfires, flooding, extreme heat conditions and mass migration driven because of it. So human climate niche, we can say, has a range of 11 to 15 degrees, and if the rising temperature exceeds this range, it can have a significant impact on human health as well. So climate and climate related migrations have been witnessed in the regions of South America, Central Africa, in parts of India and Northern Australia, and then we have seen mass migrations in many areas. The studies have also shown in link migrations which are related to temperature changes, as during the Little Ice Age, which led to a population decline in Europe due to cooler climates and moving glaciers in that time. right? Some other important topics refer to the India signing of the biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction agreement, talking about the tribal communities in Dantewada in Chhattisgarh for protesting against the mining lease which has been granted for their mountain Taral Metta. Similarly, IIT Gandhinagar has brought in a study where it has said that we have seen a significant depletion of groundwater removal in the last 20 years, and with the monsoon being decreased and drier winters, we can have a significant negative impact on the recharge of the groundwater. So those are some of the important aspects that have been covered in this Down to Earth. In case you have any questions or queries, feel free to connect back to us. And yes, the handouts for these lectures are available for free at examrace.com. Down to Earth is released every 15 days, so the handouts are available for them, as well as Yoshna and Kurukshetra is covered monthly. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, have a wonderful day ahead.